Under the warm Georgia sun, the Plath family once moved in perfect harmony. Barefoot children singing hymns between rows of wildflowers, a mother's gentle voice floating through the air like a prayer, and a father's faith anchoring them all. To the outside world, they seemed like a picture of simplicity and grace, untouched by the noise of modern life. But behind the hymns and harvests, quiet cracks were forming. Years later, as the cameras rolled and the world watched, that perfect melody began to fall out of tune, revealing not just a family divided, but a family learning how to love again in the ruins of its own creation. Before television lights and internet headlines, the Plath family were known only to their small town in rural Georgia. Kim and Barry Plath raised their 9 children in an environment guided by strict Christian principles, a home without television, sugar, or pop culture, where music and faith were the core of every day. They homeschooled their children, sang together in gospel harmonies, and built what many saw as a modern-day Eden, a family preserved from the outside world. But isolation can be both a sanctuary and a cage. The same walls that kept out temptation also kept in control. And within those walls, the children learned early what obedience meant, not always from love, but sometimes from fear. Kim, elegant and exacting, ran the household with both warmth and rigidity. Barry, gentle but firm, believed that the world outside was broken and that his family's purity depended on staying separate. Together, they created a universe where their children's innocence was sacred. Yet, as their children grew older, that innocence began to clash with curiosity. The first cracks were quiet, a song played in secret, a question asked too boldly, a book hidden beneath a pillow. But every act of rebellion carried a silent message. The world outside wasn't as evil as they had been told. When TLC introduced Welcome to Plathville in 2019, the Plath family's hidden world became a national fascination. Millions watched as the golden-haired children, Ethan, Hosanna, Micah, Mariah, Lydia, Isaac, Amber, Cassia, and Mercy, navigated a world their parents had long forbidden. The early episodes glowed with curiosity and tension. Viewers saw Ethan, the eldest son, newly married to Olivia, a free-spirited photographer whose worldview challenged everything the Plaths had built. Olivia introduced Ethan to Coca-Cola, movies, and the simple freedom of choice, small things that symbolized enormous shifts. To Kim and Barry, Olivia wasn't just another daughter-in-law. She was the embodiment of the outside world, modern, independent, questioning, and that made her dangerous. The rift between parents and children widened, and the cameras captured it all. Every whispered argument, every tearful confession, every door closed softly but firmly against the past. The Plath family, once united by shared faith, now stood divided between 2 realities, one built on tradition, the other on discovery. Mariah was the first to break away completely. With her jet black eyeliner and guitar, she became the symbol of independence, a young woman reclaiming her identity after years of quiet suppression. Her journey wasn't rebellion for rebellion's sake, it was survival. She said in one interview, her voice trembling but steady, "I had to find out who I was. I love my family, but I can't love them on their terms anymore." Micah followed, chasing modeling dreams and a taste of freedom. His charm and quiet resilience made him a fan favorite, but inside, He was still learning what it meant to be himself without guilt. The siblings who stayed, like Lydia and Isaac, struggled with loyalty. Could they love their parents without inheriting their fear? And in the middle stood Ethan, torn between the woman he loved and the family he was born to protect. His marriage to Olivia became both a bridge and a battlefield. They fought not out of hatred, but heartbreak, each trying to reconcile faith, family, and the future. As seasons passed, the Plath family's private pain became public spectacle. Viewers saw Kim and Barry's marriage begin to crumble. Kim, once the moral center of the household, admitted that she had changed. "I just woke up one day and realized I couldn't live like that anymore," she confessed. Barry, quiet and bewildered, struggled to understand the woman who had once been his partner in every decision. Their separation wasn't just between husband and wife. It was the symbolic unraveling of the very foundation the Plath children had been raised on. The children watched as the pillars of their childhood, faith, marriage, and authority, collapsed. For some, like Lydia, it was a call to hold tighter to religion. For others, like Mariah and Micah, it was a chance to build something new from the ashes. But in every direction, grief lingered, the grief of lost certainty. Healing the Plaths learned doesn't come through denial, it comes through acknowledgement. When the show revealed Lydia's tearful wedding and Ethan's distant eyes, audiences realized something. This wasn't just television drama. It was the real cost of growing up in a house where love was conditional on conformity. Mariah, in later interviews, spoke of forgiveness not as a one-time act, but a lifelong process. She said, "I still love my mom. I just can't be the version of myself she wanted me to be. Maybe one day she'll love the version that's real." Kim, meanwhile, started her own spiritual journey, rediscovering freedom outside the faith structure she once enforced. Barry found solace in prayer, learning to let go of control. The children learned to see their parents not as villains, but as flawed humans, just like themselves. The Plath story is not about perfection. It's about people learning to live after perfection collapses. Their faith, once a shield, became a mirror, reflecting not just holiness, but humanity. They have been criticized, idealized, mocked, and misunderstood. But beneath every episode lies a truth that resonates with anyone who's ever loved and lost. Family isn't defined by agreement. It's defined by endurance. In the quiet moments, when Lydia prays, when Michael calls home, when Mariah sings, the same melody still lingers, fragile but alive. A reminder that love, even when bruised, can still find its way back through forgiveness.